10 levels away, Jim. It's like a streamline one. It's like house schooling. Like 100 Uber Eats, like fucking bag, had like rancid. So girl. Troy!
Doesn't need a strap. Troy, all good, right? All good.
Yeah.
Oi, he's up.
All good.
He's up.
Chicken fried watermelon wings with red Kool-Aid.
I did see that. I saw on there just, it's already like cups of whatnot with bacon shit. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I'll try.
scary.
Who's this guy? Who is this guy? What is going on? Who the hell is this guy?
Holy crap.
Chat, I am here.
No way. We were preparing for the worst. I thought you guys like 1 week on, 1 week off.
Yeah, but then
Wow.
but we invested in a light.
Oh, let's go. I'm off and
Bang! Bang! What is this? Probably.
though.
We
I
did.
test them actually with them.
Yeah. Well, good evening and welcome everyone to AFLNT's coverage of this round 4 clash between Palmerston and Wanderers at Cazalys Arena. It's a clash of Palmerston, who are 6th on the table, Wanderers on 9th on the table, and Palmerston had a big win last week to get their season underway, and Wanderers have had a pretty tough start to the season, so looking to find their form today. My name's Stu Davis. I'm joined today in commentary by Paul Maher. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Stewie. Great to be here. Palmerston on a Friday night.
Yeah, fantastic. And neither side have had a close result yet. Hoping this will be the one for both of them as the game's underway, and it's Wanderers with the first hit out at Palmerston at ground level. The ball taken by Lampton. He's tackled with it, but illegally, and it's a free kick off the ball, in fact, to Cameron Nico, and Palmerston looking to go forward now. Go long down towards centre half forward, cutting across the front of the pack and taking a nice mark was Lucas Edmonds. And Edmonds, of course, in his second year with Palmerston, came up last year after playing a few games with the Northern Bull Ants in the VFL, and actually played in the NT rep side last year. So impressed everyone with his performances, and keen to go again this year. He's got a set shot for goal. He likes it. His teammates are celebrating, and Palmerston are on the board early in this game and carrying on from their form from last week, obviously first up.
Free kick out of the centre, then they were quick to move that ball on, Stewie. And we found Edmonds had a little bit of space in front of him, so a little bit lackadaisical there from Wanderers to push back, especially after just one centre bounce. So they'll have to watch that. Edmonds looked pretty good then too. Nice clean mark on what has been a little bit of a wet day out here at Palmerston, so he had a good grasp on that, Stewie. Yeah,
had a fair bit of rain this afternoon, but the ground looks good and conditions are absolutely perfect right at the moment, so let's hope that it stays that way for the rest of the game, as we're back in the middle of the ground, and again it's pretty easy pickings in the ruck for Wanderers, but it's Palmerston who are set up behind the ball, and Ryan Wolf with a little chip kick back into the middle of the ground. The big fella Power gets a hand pass forward, and now again it's Edmonds making himself busy across half forward, takes that mark, plays on quickly, kicks in towards goal. On the bounce it gets over the back of the pack, but just bounces through for a behind only, so Wanderers under plenty of pressure in defence early.
Yeah, he's on the run early, isn't it? Yeah. Edmonds, he's up and about.
Yeah, and that's the form we saw last year, just a running machine really, as Cody Leggett takes the mark from the kick in here for Wanderers, and now looking to play on to the near side of the ground. A couple of leapers at the ball, one of those being Kaylee Roberts for Wanderers, the big fella, but couldn't control it, and it spills over the boundary line.
The safe way out there, Wanderers, just coming out to the grandstand side just to try and get it over the line, reset.
So from that ruck contest, Wanderers' first hands on the ball. This time it was Friel, and tidies up his own work, gets it across to East. East chips the ball in short, and now the hand pass comes back out to Friel again. Friel on the left along the grandstand wing, but that's not very well directed and easily tidied up by Jordan Klein back across half back, and Palmerston bring it forward again down towards the wing. A big leap from behind, no mark taken, as Bake gets a kick around the wing again for Wanderers at ground level. They've got numbers there. While playing for the free kick was Friel. It wasn't really there, and that's why the umpire saw it. Playing was the call, and now nicely controlled at half back by Littlelow, and directs it into Nick Hind, playing his first game in Palmerston colours straight out of the AFL, which is great to see.
Yeah, 95 games with the Dons, so good pick up from Palmerston.
So Palmerston going forward again, this one deep in the forward pocket, and in fact rolls over. They run out of space. I think the pockets are a bit narrower with the boundary line than they used to be here, Paul, and maybe players getting caught out a bit by that.
Yeah, we found the same situation last week on TIO 2. A lot of ball finished up out in the trees, or at least in the crowd.
So not much of a ruck contest there. It's just thump forward, and Wanderers with the chance to run it. But Hind comes in, gets the ball, gets tackled by the jumper, manages to get a kick away under pressure, but Wanderers will turn that over. But the pass again misses the target, and this time Selwood takes the mark just forward of centre. He kicks high, inside forward 50. Big leapers in the pack, but Wanderers at ground level controlling it pretty well, as the kick again comes out close to the boundary line. And Dowsett got up there for Palmerston with a fist to the ball and saw it over for another throw-in.
I think Palmerston might be getting a little bit mixed up with that boundary line too, because they keep pushing that ball into that pocket. That's twice they've gone in there, and the ball's finished up neutral.
Yeah, certainly that boundary line used to go at least another 5 or 10 metres out towards the fence, so, and Palmerston players would have been used to that over the years, but the ball spills into the hands of Hind. He kicks inside forward 50, a strong contest in the marking contest. One umpire looked to be letting it go, but another one's paid the free kick, and so it'll be a Palmerston free kick and a set shot for goal from only about 30 metres out. Not much distance, and it's Declan Barnett who will take the free kick.
You win some, you get some luck out there, Stewie. I think that one may well be a little bit of luck for Palmerston. So,
a bit of aggression in the marking contest, but that's what the game is, and not too much damage done as Barnett bangs it into the right-hand goalpost. So just the minor score, and a bit of a let-off there for Wanderers as Mitch Taylor, looking to direct traffic from the back, brings the ball back into play now and decides to go long. It's a wobbling kick, but it's got a fair bit of distance down towards the centre of the ground. No mark taken, and Wanderers with a kick in hope, really high in the air and not covering much distance as it's batted forward by Roberts, and Wanderers have worked it to the outside and kicked down towards centre half forward. Now punched away from in front by Spencer Fox for Palmerston at half back, and now they've got some numbers around the ball as the chip pick kick comes into Hind. He goes by a hand, and Palmerston often running through the centre of the ground. The long kick down towards centre half forward, but well read in defence by Joel Cabillo for Wanderers, and he takes the intercept mark and changed his mind on the kick. Eventually went short and gives it to Garma. Garma swings around long in towards the middle of the ground. That's a well-directed kick and finds Leggett. Leggett wastes no time, gets the ball in quickly over the back. Truan's made some good space and just got out the back of his opponents there, and the kick had enough power on it to get over the players in front and just fell into Truan's lap.
Although it didn't look attractive, that short 45-degree kick was set Wanderers up for this play, because Palmerston pushed forward, created a bit of a gap. It finished up a 2-on-1 on centre wing. And then we found a Joe the Goose out the back. Yeah. He's managed to slip out and take virtually an uncontested mark.
So Jack Truan kicked 4 goals coming into this game on the season in the 2 games, and he makes no mistake with that one straight through the middle. So the answering goal from Wanderers at the 6.5-minute mark here at Cazalys Stadium.
Yeah, as I spoke about, it was they took the mark and they settled, they held. A little short kick, and then the kick went back to a short 45 virtually towards at centre half back. Created an overlap, they had a 2-on-1 on centre wing, and then virtually Truan taking the mark out the back of the pack, just managed to ease his opponent forward. And they're on the scoreboard, Stewie. Good work.
Yeah, well, it effectively broke the line and allowed them to move the ball quickly, get it in, and and well read down in the forward line. So promising signs for Wanderers as they hit back here and narrow that margin to 2 points. The big fella in ruck for Palmerston Power just getting jumped over a bit at the moment as it's another clearing kick, this time by Jackson East for Wanderers. Got it down towards half forward, but Wharf, the acting captain tonight, clears away from half back out towards the wing here. Edmonds at ground level just slid to the ground and then got his hand pass out. Looked like there's a tag on the jumper there, and that's the way it's been seen, and it's Ricky Walsh for Palmerston who'll take the free kick. Goes short. Its intended target slipped, unfortunately, for the Magpies, and Tyson White was on the spot and chipped in to take the intercept mark, and now kicks long down towards half forward again. It's a one-on-one contest. Truan's at the back again. He tries to get control of the ball, but not able to do so, but lays a good tackle and puts his opponent to the ground. I think he'll be rewarded for that tackle, because he tagged one arm basically, and the ball just hit the ground. Truan runs around now, plays on, kicks towards goal. It looks pretty good. I think he's snuck it in for his second and Wanderers' second. He has. And, wow, Wanderers on fire now with the last couple of goals of the game, and both of them through Jack Truan, who's getting busy up in that forward half.
I think the problem might have been there is that Walsh has just come off the ground after getting that free kick. He might have done something. It might have been a leg or an ankle or something. The kick went short. It was intercepted. We go down the field. It was great play there by Truan too, because he had a one-on-one And it was like that he was corralling the footy. He was waiting to be tackled, maybe to try and draw the free kick. His opponent got the ball. He lays the tackle, free kick, plays on, kicks the goal. It's a great play.
Terrific, and clearly knows where the goals are. So, as I said, he had 4 coming into this game out of the 2 that they played. So it's been a terrific pickup for them from Congubna, as Palmerston trying to work the ball out of the centre of the ground, but Wanderers' pressure in there has been good, picked up nicely by Leggett, who got the hand pass out, and now another long kick inside forward 50 for Wanderers, punched away from behind, but Wanderers have got some numbers at ground level as the ball just spills out the back now, picked up by Wilkes, who got the hand pass forward. Palmerston defence scrambling down there, Lampton in there trying to get his hands on the ball. It's toe poked off the ground, it's picked up, and a quick snap at goal. It's going high, going right to the goal line, but just falling short. It was Devon Ferreira who kicked that ball, but Palmerston tied it up to the outer side of the ground. But again, Wanderers are getting over in numbers where the ball is and putting the pressure on, but Palmerston bring it round the outer side of the ground over the back of the pack. It's taken by Costa, who gets a hand pass forward to Hind now. Hind finds some space for himself, and he's off and running with a couple of bounces, and now kicks long to the open spaces inside forward 50, and that's a beautifully directed kick. And Declan Barnett got out the back as again it's just breaking the line. Hind took a couple of bounces, able to get it over that pack of players, and Barnett read it best, and the kick was beautifully directed.
Yeah, he took off, didn't he? He was like he was getting chased by the cops. He was off, a couple of bounces, and he backed himself in there too. He's obviously still carrying a lot of fitness from the AFL season. Backed himself in, and it was a great kick. That's gone through for a goal.
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah.
And it was a great kick, and for the Palmerston player to run onto it. So, but good work is that they switched the ball out of defence very quickly, and that they kicked it out to Power, who actually had to bend over and pick it up, and then push the ball forward, which is pretty good for Ruckman's team.
Yeah, he looks a bit of a lumberer, doesn't he? But got plenty of size about him. But
and they keep kicking it to him.
Yeah, that's right. But so Palmerston get the answering goal and get their noses back in front as we pass by 11 minutes in this first quarter in what's an entertaining contest here at Cazalys Arena in Palmerston. So from the restart, big Power in there, gets his hand to the ball this time, but not a cleanly to a teammate as it's worked down towards the Palmerston half forward line. Mitch Taylor running off of half back, scoops in and picks it up. Looked to kick and then decided to hand pass in the end, and Wanderers use it by hand out to East, who delivers nicely out onto the outer side where Wanderers have got the chance to go high down towards half forward. Palmerston have had the chance to get numbers back as Wolf picks up and hand passes in one motion, and a quick kick out of defence just spills to the ground again, and nicely picked up by Nico, who tried to break through the tackle, got caught but managed to get his hand pass out, and still scrambling at ground level. That quick kick comes forward into the pocket, it's punched away close to the boundary line, and it'll roll over for a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Wanderers.
It's a bit hot down there, isn't it, at the moment? There's a lot of ball hitting the ground, so they might have picked up a bit of moisture off the ground, but they're having a crack, Wanderers. They're in and under. They're just still under a bit of pressure, though.
So from that boundary throw in, the ball spills back into the centre corridor where there's a strong tackle, and that'll be a ball up between half forward and full forward for Wanderers. As Big Power puts his hand up, it's thumped forward again, and again at ground level. It's Truan doing the work this time, but tried to be a little bit too clever and ducked back inside, and just got cleaned up in the tackle and gives away the free kick as Palmerston bring it away to the near side of the ground, trying to paddle it forward, but nicely picked off there by Horrigan, who got the hand pass forward. Someone thrown out of the way there, but Palmerston tidy up in defence, and Hamid chips it close to the boundary line, but the mark's nicely taken there by Edmonds. He's off and running once again, tries to get round the player in front of him, got caught but managed to get his kick forward and kicked it beautifully straight into the leading Bazine. Bazine chips inboard, and mark taken here by Hamid, who delivers beautifully to half forward. just a bullet-like pass of about 40 metres and straight onto the chest of Costa.
He's become a little bit lively, Harmon. He's just come up East Keilor via Footscray, so he's played a bit of VFL.
Yeah.
Kicked 4 goals last week too, Stu. So he's liking NT footy.
Yeah, he is, and beautiful skills there on display. Hit the target. This kick will be from outside 50 though, so the kick on the way looks like it's going to hit the top of the goal square here as this flies up the ball. Hits the ground and tidied up by Jonas Nicky, who takes it away to the other side of the ground, but not a well-directed kick, and Ryan Wharf chips in and takes the intercept mark inside Palmerston's forward 50, so it'd be a chance to go back and have a shot for goal from here.
Now you take a ball out of the back pocket, Stewie, you're either going to go for the Bandula or you're going to put it as far down the ground as you possibly can. The black and white striped jumpers, they stand out a bit on a Friday night, and he's managed to successfully hit him.
He got plenty of purchase on the kick, Ryan Wharf, but just dragged it across the face of goal and through for a point.
That's a let off there for Wanderers, so they need to be a bit more careful there.
So Leggett out of defence, gets past Hind and then kicks along the wing, but doesn't hit a target here, and beautifully picked up and spun around by Fuller, who looks inboard, but his kick wasn't as good as the play before it, as the ball bobbles around near the centre of the ground, and Palmerston have turned it over again, and Bonham on the left kicks long towards half forward again, a well-directed kick, and the mark taken out there by Bazine. Bazine looking to just switch across to the other side at half forward. Edmonds scoops in nicely, gets a hand pass out here, or under plenty of pressure there. It was Ricky Walsh, I think it was, and just a bit overzealous in the tackle, got in his back. So Walsh will take the free kick just outside 50.
He seems to right now, he's back on, obviously.
Yeah. So it's Hamid again in the play, and again delivers nicely inside forward 50, and telling his teammate Cameron Nico to go back and take the set shot.
It's about 3 or 4 now that he's virtually lace out inside 50, Stewie. So they'll probably Wanderers need to maybe get a bit closer to him.
So Cameron Nico, great camera shot of this one, right behind, and the camera shows that he's dragged that one to the right and just snuck it in for a behind. So a couple of opportunities missed from Palmerston, where Wanderers have been pretty efficient in the couple of times that they've gone forward. As kicking in this time is Horrigan for Wanderers to Taylor. Taylor spilt the ball but managed to recover, and now Wanderers through the hands under pressure. That's an ordinary kick, and Wharf again takes the advantage, kicks long towards goal. It looks like it's going to go all the way. It is, and that's a goal from a mistake from the Wanderers defenders, and just under pressure. It was a nothing kick, and Ryan Wharf pounced on it and kicked the goal from long range. Now,
did I just not say about a minute and a half earlier, you got it in the back line, you got to get it as far out as you possibly can. I mean, that's junior footy stuff. And the more possessions you have in a row like that, Stewie, especially handballs, the more chance you got to make a mistake, especially the way the Palmerston are playing. They're playing tight, contested, and they want to bottle them up. They want to make the ground smaller, and it's exactly what they're doing. Yeah,
that's right. Wanderers never really had control of the ball as they tried to work it out, and got caught out in the end, and a terrific finish.
It's a little bit flashy too, actually, if anything. It's that they want to try and make it look good, and unfortunately it looks really bad.
Yeah. So back in the middle of the ground and up high this time. Roberts got his hand to the ball for Wanderers, but just not able to break free, and Matt Payne applies the tackle. So it'll be a ball up again. Neither ruckman could get a hand to the ball this time. It's picked up in the middle of the ground by Crofts, who just thumps it forward for Wanderers to 2-on-2 True, and tries to tap it back over the pack. He's done pretty well. The hand pass comes to East. East chips a kick forward. There's 3 or 4 Wanderers players could have marked the ball. It spills to Piercy in the end. He kicks long towards half forward to full forward under pressure, but they made a meal of that. Just no talking there, as they could have raffled it but Palmerston clear it away, and at ground level Motlop just paddles it forward, trying to control it near the ground. That might have gone out of bounds on the full off
Looks
the boot
like it,
there.
yeah,
I
it
think
has.
so. Yeah, Matt
That was
Palmer.
great work from East there too. In and under, got the ball, saw an opportunity, and three of them couldn't make a decision, so they all went for it.
Matthew Motlop comes backwards, but again, they've got out of jail there as the drill pass comes in, but misses the target and easily chopped off by Hind, who chips it into the centre of the ground. And Palmerston looking to spread to the near side, but again, that's poor disposal, and Truan's pounced on this one. Gives by hand, but his teammate was under plenty of pressure. It spills to the feet of Truan, who soccers it forward again, and this time it rolls over the boundary line next to the behind post, so it'll be a stoppage inside Wanderers forward 50.
He had Hind there too after he wanted the give and go, didn't he? He was going to give it back to me, but he didn't, and he's gone virtually at 90 degrees across the ground and turned it back over.
So from the throw in, doing the ruck work for Wanderers was Crofts, and got the hand pass forward. Truan has a snap towards goal again, but this time he couldn't bring it around, and it's gone out of bounds on the full, and it'll be brought back into play by Spencer Fox.
He's a bit lively too, Truan, isn't he, at this stage?
So Fox looking to go short, and now it's Bonham who takes that mark, kicks long around the wing, but Wanderers got numbers there as Leggett gives and receives back, and then gives again, and tried to receive back, but the hand pass missed him, and now Palmerston with ball in hand, but Leggett chops it off again, gets it by hand to Bake. Bake drills it around the outer side of the ground. The mark couldn't be taken, and at ground level trying to pick it up was Matty Artso, but the ball beats him over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in. So we're into time on in the first quarter of this AFLNT round 4 NTFL clash at Cazalys Arena, and it's Palmerston with a 10-point lead at this stage. Wanderers at ground level would love to get another one on the board, you would think, before quarter time, as Leggett gets it back, and eventually it comes to Crofts, who goes long round the outer side of the ground, punched away from behind, and then at ground level nicely controlled by Ferreira, who gets a kick inboard but again misses the target, and easily cleaned up in defence back there by Selwood. Selwood just wanders away past the player on the mark and kicks close to the boundary line on the outer side, but that's well taken by Lampton. Nathaniel Lampton chips out wide again to his captain for the night in Ryan Wharf. Wharf didn't have much down the line that he liked, so he chipped back inboard to Hind, and now Hind settles things down and looks for an option. He's calling for players to lead for him, and in the end he thumps it long towards centre half forward. There's a whistle on the play here. I think there might have been some contact after the kick was taken. It's Palmerston free kick, and now they're moving it forward inside 50 quickly. The mark was spilled down there, but Wanderers have got some numbers back as Garma gets a hand pass out, and eventually it comes to Smiler. Smiler on the left goes towards the outer side. There's a big leap out there, and Wharf again in the action, but couldn't take the mark, and the ball spills over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Quick play there by Palmerston. They were right onto that. Unfortunate. The ball that was virtually finished up a 3-on-1 down there. So interesting to find out where the other two blokes were.
So from the throw-in, just thump forward towards the Wanderers' goal. It spills now, and now a chance for Wanderers to go inside forward 50. The mark needs to be taken. It's a 1-on-2 down there as it's Cox who tries to kick off the ground towards goal, but couldn't get it through the big white ones and through for a minor score.
Well, slingshot footy then. That was pretty good from Wanderers. That they've had some really good passages of play along there, is that they've been able to find an overlap and push the ball down.
So coming out of defence, ball comes long outside 50. Working his way to the front was Smiler. Looked like he got held. That's the way the umpire's seen it. And so Sonny Smiler playing his first game via Richmond Juniors. His kick inside 50 just easily tied it up with the punch from Dowsett. Punched it over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in again. 23 and a half minutes gone, first quarter, And it's a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Wanderers.
Needed to attack the footy then, Stewie, didn't he? He sort of sat back waiting for it to come to him. Palmerston player got his hand in.
So plenty of players around the ball as Palmerston trying to work it out. They get it through the hands now, and nicely taken by Nico, but again just wasted the ball a bit and gives Wanderers a chance, but he's still working at ground level. Got it forward by hand as Littlelow was tackled to the ground. It's a bit of a rugby scrum in there at the moment as Palmerston happy to work it out, and now it's a one-on-one wrestle for the ball and couldn't come out, and again there's a bit of push and shove here. I think the second one's got the free kick and a 50-metre penalty as well, so I'm not sure this will bring him within kicking distance, but just some bit of unnecessary stuff there. But I think Ricky Walsh was a bit fortunate to get the free kick in the first place, and then it was compounded by the ball being thrown at him.
Well, it's not a good ending for Wanderers. Not that I don't think he's going to score out of this anyway, but as Wanderers have pushed about 18 blokes back into the goal square. But the Wanderers had worked so hard.
A decent piece of that.
to keep that ball in and around, either inside 50 or just outside, with giving them an opportunity to maybe get a score or at least to keep it into that area without slingshotting it back out. The ball up happens, and then one bloke gets a little bit undisciplined, gets dragged into something that he shouldn't do. Walsh has hit the ground, he gets a free kick, and then somebody says something that they shouldn't have, and 30 metres down the ground, Stewie, that results in a goal.
Yeah, that's right.
You wouldn't think that Aaron Motlop's going to be a very happy coach.
Yeah.
22 to 13 at quarter time, Stu.
Yeah, conversely, I think Aaron Motlop would be reasonably happy with some of the stuff they've shown in the first quarter. So both sides well and truly in the game, and a 9-point margin at quarter time. We'll be back shortly with the second quarter.
Lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mate.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Cazalys Arena for round 4 action in TIO NTFL Men's Premier League for 2024-25. At quarter time, it's the Palmerston Magpies by 9 points as we're underway in the second quarter. Reaching over the top was Joe Baston Priest for Wanderers, got them going forward as the quick kick comes under pressure, and at half forward Friel just lost control of the ball, but still a chance at ground level as Motlop comes in, almost a throw forward. Play on's the call as it spills at ground level, and eventually it's tidied up by Palmerston, and Walsh gets the kick out of defence into the centre of the ground. Hind just works away from his opponent there, scrambles a kick forward as he's tackled, and now the ball at ground level is picked up by Barnett, who's tackled to the ground, but again it's an illegal tackle, and looks like there might have been a head clash as well down there. There's a bit of concern for one of the Wanderers players as play will stop momentarily, so we're inside the first minute of play in the second quarter, and the player needs a bit of attention here. Hopefully nothing too serious, but just down on his haunches there and hasn't really moved off the ground. I'm just trying to pick up who it is. But yeah, a bit scrambly to start the second quarter, Paul, but Palmerston have had the bulk of the play throughout the first quarter, but just didn't take full advantage on the scoreboard.
No, they kicked goals early. Wharf and Edmonds was on the scoreboard, and then Wharf and Barnett kicked goals for them and had them going. But they hit the post, and they missed a couple. They had one bounce just on the wrong side of the goal post. So they had plenty of opportunity early for inside 50s. On the back end of that, you go to the other end of the ground. Wanderers through True was able to kick too, and they were able to hold the ball inside 50, but they weren't able to score as the ball kept either rolling out of bounds or was running short or was getting chopped off. So I'd probably say 50-50 at this stage, but the scoreboard is telling us there's a 9-point buffer.
And Barnett's got a shot at goal. It's going all the way. It's just missed to the left-hand side. As we see, it's Jonas Nicky was the injured player, and he's walking off the ground with a water bottle in hand, and looks to be walking pretty well now. So he'll get checked out, and potentially will get back on the ground. So
yeah, I think there might have been a clash of heads. He came in for the tackle from behind on Barnett, and I think there might have been a clash of heads.
So the ball down to the wing, and not bounced nicely, but beautifully taken by Smiler, who gets it in quickly to a one-on-one. No mark taken as the ball spills to the ground. Truan's lurking there again as now it spills to his favour. He gets a hand pass back inboard, and now Wanderers looking for options. Nice good vision there. Saw a teammate in some space. It's Leggett who kept running from behind and made himself available, and the delivery was good, and gives Wanderers a chance with a set shot at goal early in the second quarter.
It was a better option too, because he was thinking about kicking it. As a right footer, he was on the wrong side, and he's had Leggett coming down the ground on the 50, and he's kicked that. Yes, he has.
Yeah, just snuck it in, I think. So his teammates get around him as they should, and it's after Palmerston had a shot on goal, it's Wanderers with the first goal of the second quarter.
They've been able to move the ball very quickly out of defence, Stu. A lucky bounce there on centre wing, which gave Smiley the opportunity to take off. He's put it into that deep pocket again, though, which has become a bit of an issue. But it was a 3-on-2 contest. Wanderers boys kept their feet, went around the goals a little bit the wrong way and finished up bringing it back towards 50 metres so they could get a better option. So pockets aren't very deep here. So good option, good goal.
Yep.
It's 4 points of difference.
So from the restart, Priest up high, got his hand to the ball. The hand pass comes out, and again it's Leggett who picks up, gets the hand pass over the top, and Wanderers are off and running again as Priest doing the ruck works has followed up, gets a long kick inside down towards the top of the goal square. It's punched away, and now close to the boundary line again as working hard at ground level was Kane Cox. Eventually he's caught with the ball, but he's been taken over the boundary line in the meantime, so it'll be a boundary throw in.
A couple of umpires sitting on top of that electrical box over there seemed to think he was dropping the ball, Stewie.
Yeah, well, hopefully they will be umpires in the future. But we've got a boundary throw in on the outer side of the ground as Big Power comes in and double palms it towards the boundary line again, but it's Wanderers first to the ball at ground level. The kick comes in towards the top of the goal square. It's bobbling around there, and Palmerston under some pressure is almost kept in play, but not quite, and it'll be a boundary throw in again, this time right next to the behind post at the end of the ground that Wanderers are kicking to.
That Truan's looking very lively around there. He's hanging around those packs like a bit of a sheepdog, isn't he? He's just waiting for something to come out.
So the ball spills to the ground, and again it's knocked across the front of the Wanderers goal, and Ryan Wharf just comes in, picks it up, swings around onto his left boot and clears away down the grandstand side. The ball spills to the ground. It's picked up by Leggett, who fishes the hand pass out wide to Garma. Garma kicks high towards half forward. Oh, big pack of players fly for the ball there. It spills forward of the pack, and now again it's caught in underneath, and standing up and giving the ball back to the umpire is Zach Fuller as we start again. Power gets a hand to the ball, but Wanderers pretty well organised around the play as East on the left kicks long towards goal, but there's no Wanderers players down there, and eventually it's bounced back through for a behind. So
their last two inside 50s have been very manic. That's twice that they put in, once to probably a 3-on-3 pack, and that kick there from East, who is a pretty good mover of the footy.
Yeah.
It's put it nowhere.
Yeah, just didn't really look. But Palmerston have worked this ball forward of centre now as the toe poke comes forward, but tied it up by Taylor. He kicks long to the wing, but again it's straight to the hands of Palmerston players, who eventually get it through the hands, and Hamid gets it by hand to Nico. Those two working together pretty well, and that was a pretty handy one-handed mark in defence by Horrigan. Just cool as you like.
Yeah, it's pretty laid back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On a Sunday afternoon at Shenanigans.
So he chips inboard to Taylor. Taylor over the top to Cabillo, and Cabillo goes out wide, and a nice mark taken under some pressure out there by East.
You've got to move it now.
East,
That's
uses
better.
it well and finds Truan out there. He's looking to move it on quickly, runs himself into a bit of trouble again, and on the bounce, nicely controlled near the boundary line there, but just couldn't quite keep it in. But
Don't know what he was trying to do there. It's like he was playing cricket.
Yeah.
Didn't want to carry it over the line. That was better play than by Wanderers.
Yeah.
They were very quick on that. I'm not really sure what Truan thought he was doing. He might have thought he was a left footer for a minute, because he went onto that left side, realised that wasn't for him, and then went back to the right. But he only took half a step either way, Stewie. And you got to go a little bit further to avoid your opposition.
So that one was just knocked straight back over the boundary line again. So
She's getting some work out there, boundary umpire.
Catherine Flynn getting plenty of work on that outer side of the ground, and ball slips over the top as it's taken by Wilkes, but again no room to move, and he's tackled to the ground, and it'll be a ball up.
They're hard at the footy, Wanderers, you give them that.
So from that ruck contest, or playing for the high free kick, not paid, and play on's the call as the ball spills out, but there's a whistle on the play again, and I think it's going to come back, and it'll be a Palmerston free kick in defence.
That's hard.
Yep.
But he's obviously drawn some attention of a Wanderers tagger, maybe.
So in
Not close
decline,
enough,
and
though.
back to Hamid, who gets another touch, and again he gives it to Nico, who chips inboard, and almost slipping and losing control was Edmonds, but he's done pretty well to mark it in the end, and now runs off around the player on the mark, kicks long over the back, and fell into the lap of Ricky Walsh, but he spilt the mark and allowed the Wanderers defenders to come in, but again they've turned it over, and it's Nico gets a hand pass, and Hamid, another disposal, this time just falls short of his intended target in Matt Payne, and he couldn't control it, and the ball is knocked over the boundary line for another throw in.
And just as I say that, he gets 3 possessions, mate. So
Yeah. Yeah, him and Muhammad and Nico really working in tandem.
Yeah,
around the ground.
Yeah, it's like they're playing off each other.
Yeah,
working out what's the best option.
Muhammad going into the ruck now and almost takes it out of the contest himself, as Edmonds does pretty well out there to find some space, and now drills it in towards half forward. It gets out the back to Ryan Wharf in space by himself, and that's a pretty easy running goal from 20 metres out for the acting skipper. And the Wanderers defence just got lost out there.
Yeah, the ball sort of bobbled around there a little bit. They couldn't. There wasn't a clean possession there. It goes backwards and forwards. There a couple of stoppages. Palmerston obviously got the numbers because Wharf's pushed up out of virtually out off our half-back flank onto the back end of the pack. Great work from Hamid. He's linked up twice as the ball's come out of centre half-back, and then he's contested the ruck throw-in virtually on a half-forward flank. And they've managed to bring the ball out to the fat side of the ground for Wharf to stroll into an open goal. He's second for the night. Yeah,
that's right. Just keeps finding himself in space. So just waiting for the return of a football to get things underway here.
Well, Palmerston local might have found a footy in his backyard.
Yeah, there's unfortunately not too many spectators hung out at that end of the ground, so if it goes over the fence there's a bit of a chase sometimes. But we're back in the middle now, ready to go, and it's a goal apiece in this second quarter, and the quarter time margin of 9 points is restored as the ball's up and down in the middle of the ground at ground level. Just trying to burrow through was Piercy, but eventually the kick comes forward for Wanderers down towards half forward. Coming out of half-back, Selwood just toe-poked it forward and then chased it himself, and Palmerston have worked it out close to the boundary line and around the outer wing, but chopped off now, and the chance for Wanderers again as Wilkes kicks in towards centre half forward, punched away nicely from behind and into some space into the centre of the ground. It's controlled there by Barnett, who kicks down towards half forward, and it's a nicely directed kick, and finds his teammate in Bizine, who ran himself into some trouble but got out of it again, and eventually his kick hits the target of Walsh. Walsh switches to the outer side of the ground. It's Wharf again, and Wharf goes long to the goal square. A one-on-one contest there. It's punched away from behind. Wanderers under some pressure down there as it spills into the hands of the Palmerston forward in Costa, but he couldn't control it, and eventually it's scrambled over for a rush behind, and Taylor brings it back in.
I'm not sure that they wanted to give the point up. That rule that we all scratch our head over now about whether it's a non-contest or whether it can be go over or when they're under pressure or whatever the rule is. But anyway,
no damage done in the end except for the rush behind as the kick comes around the wing. Lambton there paddled the ball away and then got tackled, so he'll receive a free kick. Yeah, he chips inboard and picked up on the half volley by Barnett. In fact, the mark's been paid, I think. So now he's called to play on and gets a hand pass over the top to Hammett again, and he's off and running. Hand pass isn't his best, but bounces to Lambton, as the hand pass comes back to Hammett. He's under some pressure at ground level, and Wanderers come in and tidy up again. But again, the disposal by hand is letting them down and putting them under pressure as Walsh says, I've had enough of this, and just thumps the ball long inside forward 50. It's kicked off the ground here. It's a goal, and in the flurry of players there just trying to pick up who it was, but it's a Palmerston goal out of nothing really, and just the opportunity was given to them by Wanderers' lack of skills by hand, Paul.
I was getting dizzy there for a moment, Stewie, because the ball just kept going around and around and around and around before they could actually get a clean possession. And instead of going out towards the boundary line, they decided to come back in. That handball didn't hit the target, and it was play on, and the turnover, and the ball finishes up in the forward pocket, and then they go back through that same process that they did a couple of minutes ago when the pressure was there and they didn't know what to do with it. They don't want to pick it up. Palmerston kick it off the goal.
Yeah.
We're at 16 points.
Yep. So ball back in the middle of the ground and taken by Nico. And again, he waxes with Hamid as he gets it back to Nico. Nico on the left this time. Drills it in towards centre half forward. Off hands, the ball slips over the back. First there for Wanderers is big fella Nicky. Got the hand pass out wide and Wanderers clear it away. But again, it's just a kick in hope really. And Palmerston seemed to have the numbers. East did pretty well to take possession of the ball and then got dumped with it and wins himself a free kick. So trying to take advantage was Truan, but that's not really going to help his side much at all as Palmerston will just have time to get back and set up behind the ball now.
I'm not sure if the conditions are any different out there at that end of the ground, but Nicky he was standing above it, tiptoeing around the ball, not really knowing whether to pick it up or not, which creates the pressure because the Palmerston are onto him about that. Anyway, moving forwards.
Yeah, so East found Truan and Truan swings around, kicks long towards half forward. That ball falls to the front of the pack. Hand pass comes over, a dribble attempt at goal, and I think it might have been just touched on the line. Yeah, it was Kane Cox. He tried to kick the dribble goal through, but good defensive work, and Palmerston quickly bring it back into play, and Edmonds out on the outer side of the ground, chips back inboard, but again misses the target, and Wanderers a chance to go forward again. It's a high ball to a pack of players at half forward. Ball spills forward. Priest does well at ground level. Now kicks on the outside of the boot, and nice delivery inside forward 50, and this gives Wanderers another chance with a set shot at goal from pretty much directly in front.
Nice work again there, but they're playing kamikaze football, Stewie, aren't they? Let's just get it and bang it onto the boot. That's probably 2 or 3 times they've had 2 or 3 guys, 2 or 3 of their own players contest the same ball, nobody front and centre. And as it was, I think it was Priest finished up roving his own.
Yeah, the ruckman.
Yeah.
But his kick was good. It found Kane Cox, and Cox makes no mistake with the set shot. So Wanderers are certainly hanging in this game, and they're not without a chance in the end. It's back to 9 points, and they've created some opportunities for themselves.
Well, Stewie, sometimes you can put an IKEA kit together by the plans, or you can just throw the plans out the door. I think that I'm not really sure there's a plan here tonight. Wanderers said just banging it forward as quickly as they possibly can. We spoke before the game, they didn't look like a tall side.
Yeah.
They look like they should have a lot of run, fine, wiry type players. They've definitely got that. They maybe they need to use that a little bit better than what they're doing.
So Roberts gets his hand to the ball for Wanderers, but it's Palmerston with the clearing kick. Mark almost taken over the shoulder there by Barnett. He's under pressure now, tackled to the ground, and over the shoulder is the call. So it'll be a Palmerston free kick on the wing here.
We were on the other side of that,
yeah,
so anyway.
Right. Barnett's kick gets to half forward where Nico gets a hand pass over the top, and Edmonds chips the ball in towards half forward. Good disposal, good delivery, and now a chance for Bonham to kick Palmerston down towards the goal square. It falls off hands, and there's a snapshot for goal, but it's gone straight across the face, and no score.
He's missed everything.
Yeah.
He's gone into 7-11 with no money there, mate. He's come out with nothing.
Yeah.
Good spot. He's in the right spot. Just
a poor finish.
Application was good. As that, the finish wasn't all that flash. So, but he's looked wiry actually. Bonham, is it Bonham? The young guy. He's looked all right.
So Palmerston again at ground level, just trying to work it. But East comes in for Wanderers and tidies up, kicks on the left, and his delivery's good to the outer side of the ground where Priest takes the mark. Joe Baston Priest chips in short, and Wolf closing, puts some pressure on, but the mark was taken, and it's Wanderers who will just settle things down and drive it around the wing. The ball gets over the back. Motlop on the outside of the boot. Not sure that
went about 6
covered
metres.
the required distance, but it's been allowed, and Ferreira kicks down towards the forward pocket, but it's off hands and over the boundary line for another throw in.
It's a bit static, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's stop, start. Is that they moved the ball very quickly the first time. That first mark he should have taken off. He should have played on. But they're hanging on to it, so maybe Aaron's instruction is let's hang on to the footy. Let's not try and turn it over. Stopping that kamikaze type play.
So ball back in play, but again there's plenty of players around the pack and it's caught in underneath and it'll be a ball up again. We just ticked into time on in the second quarter and the margin is what it was at quarter time. So both sides have had some chances as this time Wanderers with another chance, and the delivery inside forward 50 is beautiful once again, and it's that man Jack Trewin who's got into a bit of space in front and takes it on the chest, and from what we've seen, Paul, you'd back him from here 20 out directly in front.
Yeah, he's got an eye like a dead fish tonight, mate, hasn't he? He's and he's been lively too. He's been hanging around the packs, and he got a metre or so on his opposition there, and it was might have been a little bit of a set play out of that stoppage contest because it's a goal.
Yep.
Because it came straight out and they had the space open up as well. They'd sold all the real estate around him and let him run into that, Trewin.
Yeah, so he's been a dangerous player all night and gets another one on the board for Wanderers and closes that margin to 3 points, which probably 4 or 5 minutes ago you couldn't foresee happening.
No, well, at this stage, we're nearly 22 minutes in, so we've only got a couple of minutes to go. Wanderers have won the quarter.
Yeah.
So good feeling for Wanderers to go in at half-time, especially if Aaron Motlop. He's given them some instruction as to what to do. They've found a focal point. He's kicked 3 now, Trewin. So, and they're looking for him, and they started that kamikaze type. They've sort of, they're still there, but they're controlling it.
So back in the middle, up high was Priest, thumped it forward, but it was Nico who tied it up with the hands for Palmerston, and the kick goes forward and Ricky Walsh takes a nice mark and then chips outside to Hamid. Hamid off and running, kicks long towards goal, but he's just dragged that one across the face, unfortunately for the Magpies, and through for behind.
It's about the only thing he's missed all night too, Stewie. He's been, as I said, he's been lace out all night, as Dennis would say, centimetre perfect.
Leggett for Wanderers, kicks it round the outer side of the ground. And there's a 50-metre penalty there.
Could he get another one if he talks to him like that? Needs to keep running here. He's got his hands out. Can't really see any option.
On the bounce is the shot at goal.
Oh,
I think
it's
good. It is. They're celebrating.
That's Trewin again. No, it's not. Yes, no.
Just, it's a bit hard. Oh,
what about Wilkes, was it?
Yeah, I think it was Wilkes that ran onto them. He's the one that's getting all the high fives. So, yeah, again, it wasn't the tightest of play, but it fell their way, and Wilkes made no mistake on the run.
Well, that's the discipline, that 50-metre penalty, and you would have thought that someone like Wolf would have known better, especially in the leadership role, is that's just cost him a goal, and I would be thinking that the word from the coach at half-time is probably going to be to him going, mate, you've got some work to do, Mark Tyrrell. So, tell you who hasn't had a great deal of footy lately is Nick Hine.
No, that's right. So, again, Palmerston first hands on the ball. Nico by hand and then receives back, running through half forward, wobbles a kick forward. Just hit the direction was right, but the mark wasn't taken, and Wanderers able to tidy up, and it's Leggett again with another disposal inside the centre square. It's swept out by hand, and Joe Baston Priest has found some space forward of the wing on this near side of the ground. He comes in, he's shaping to kick long. It's gone into that pocket. It's gone wide of that pocket, in fact, and just a bit of showmanship about that one, I think, where he needed to just focus and find a target inside.
He had Trewin 40 metres with plenty of ears. Trewin now. Virtually in exactly that spot, Stewie. That's where.
Well, it's got there in the end.
Trewin had led there. He had about 4 steps on his opponent, but Priest has gone, I'm kicking him all right tonight.
Yeah.
Till he put it in the top tier of the grandstand.
Well, amazingly, Truan's got a set shot here deep in the second quarter to give Wanderers 4 in a row to finish the half and take a handy lead in. There's Truan's kick on the way. Yep, he's celebrating again, so it is another Wanderers goal. And as I said, 4 in a row to finish the quarter for Wanderers so far, and they have turned the tables and got themselves an 8-point lead as we tick over 25 minutes in the second quarter.
Well, Palmerston had the ball again. The ball came out of the clearance, they've gone forward, they turned it over. Good play, just a kick off the ground there by Nicky, just to push the ball back forward in outside of the Palmerston forward 50. He gets the ball out. They had numbers out wide, and then the turnover again.
Yeah, that's right.
Out of the back pocket virtually.
Yep.
That's Mark Jewell's not going to be very happy with that one either.
So up high was Cox, but just overbalanced a bit. The ball squirts out, and now at ground level, Edmonds gets ploughed into the ground after copping a high one, and he'll take the free kick for either, and kicks out to the outer side of the ground. Looked like a drag over the shoulder there, and that's the way it's been paid, and it's Hamid who will take the free kick between wing and centre on the outer side of the ground. Goes the short option, and of course it's to Nico again. So Nico just slowing things down, hasn't got many options, decides to go long inside 50 in the end. It's falling a bit short. The mark spilt down there by a leg at this time. Mitch Taylor gets it on the left and gets it out, and Truan, who's worked up the ground, takes that mark. Oh, that's the worst kick he's had all night, but on the bounce it finds Friel, and he doesn't really know where he's going to go with this one. He just tries a chip over the top. It's been adjudged to have travelled far enough, and Jeremy Pearcey takes the mark at centre half forward and had a look around, but decides to go back off the long run back to the centre of the ground and chew up the clock, really, as
he's taking his 30 seconds here, Stewie.
Yeah, take his best to kick the goal from here, you would think. Oh, he's coming right on the 50. Kick's going right to the line. They're trying to make some space for it. It is a good kick, and some terrific work on the goal line as well. And it's Pearcey who's got that goal, and that's 5 in a row to end the quarter for Wanderers. And they're really up and about down on the bench here, really excited about what their team's produced in this last 10 minutes or so.
Well, that's the thing about that too, Stewie, is that you kick a couple of goals, all of a sudden you become a little bit 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Truan working his way down the ground, because the Taylor kick out of the defensive 50 wasn't the best.
No.
It was just I'm just going to get rid of this. Truan had pushed forward. Stroke of luck, he's standing in the middle of 2 Palmerston players, and the ball lands in Truan's chest. He plays on very, very quickly. Friel picked up one, that a baseball player would be happy to pick up with a glove on. And then, as you said, wasn't sure what to do with it, but finds Pearcey.
Yep.
And the 9-point deficit has now turned into a 14-point lead.
Yeah, it's a 6-goal-to-2 quarter Wanderers way, and as we've said a number of times, they've kicked the last 5 goals of the quarter and really put themselves in a good position at half-time.
They certainly have. Well, Truan with 4, Cox, Leggett and Pearcey with 1 each. For Wanderers, Palmerston, Wolf with 2, Payne, Barnett and Edmonds with 1 apiece.
Yeah, that's right, and some work to do for the Palmerston Magpies, but Wanderers come in full of energy for the second half, and got themselves in a position where they can challenge to win their first game of the season. So that's half-time here at Cazalys Arena. It's Wanderers by 14 points. We'll be back after the half-time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Cazalys Arena for round 4 action between Palmerston and Wanderers. It's the 2024-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season, and my name's Stu Davis. I'm with Paul Maher tonight, and at half-time it's the bottom-placed Wanderers who find themselves in the lead by 14 points. A really impressive second half of that second quarter, Paul.
Yeah, they certainly took advantage of that second quarter, Stuart. Maybe it might be that end of the ground. Well, we're not sure it's the scoring end. But yeah, they've kicked 6 goals in that quarter from a 9-point deficit to a 14-point lead. So and the last 10 minutes absolutely dominated.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be interesting to see what the half-time break does for the fortunes of either side as we're underway, and a bit of ping-pong in the middle of the ground, but it's taken by Motlop, who turns one way, then back the other, and gives by hand off to Leggett. Leggett delivering down towards half-forward. It's out in front of Roberts, who tries to knock it forward to his own advantage, but ran out of space, and the ball's tapped over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in at half-forward for Wanderers.
I think we've got having the same problems at the other end of the ground with the ball coming out. Well, it looked like Leggett had come off centre wing and he's put it out of bounds. So,
So the big fella Power thumps it forward for Palmerston. At ground level, East does pretty well to just get a hack kick into the danger area there. Truan lurking. Now gets himself into some space, picks up, looks to deliver inside forward 50, and that's a good kick. And Truan's been a terrific player tonight, really dangerous forward. He's hit the scoreboard, and now he's found a teammate deep forward and a chance for a shot at goal.
Isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just.
No.
Yeah, I think it might be. Just trying to pick it up. Yeah, it is. So the set shot for goal, he just always hung that out to the right. It was Jeremy Piercy with that shot, but just hung it out to the right. So a minor score only, and Dowsett brings it back in for Palmerston to the outer side of the ground, where Fox gives by hand, and Palmerston looking to work it forward again, but they put themselves under pressure, and the ball comes back inside for Wanderers as working at ground level. Hind swoops in and gets a hand pass out the back, and Palmerston looking to build from behind now as the mark's taken by Bonham. Bonham moves it out wider again to the big fella Power. Power steadies and kicks down towards half forward. That's a well-directed kick, and the mark taken by Costa, who gives off by hand to Hamid. Hamid goes long to the goal square. It's a one-on-one contest. Taylor works back there, gets his fist to the ball, and you can hear the applause of the crowd as Taylor's worked back really well and got his fist to it, got it over for a rush behind. Now uses the ball nicely to Nicky. Jonas Nicky drills it to the outer side of the ground, and Leggett takes another mark out wide, goes long over the top, ball running out in front of his teammate Cox out there, swings back onto the left foot. He's didn't get too much purchase on that and was easily knocked away. Leggett swoops in and gives it up to Smiler. Smiler on the left, kicks down towards half forward. The mark spilt down there, but still Palmerston have got enough players to work it out as Bazine finds a target, and now Edmonds losing his footing there, and Smiler swoops in, gets a hand pass forward, but again misses the target by hand, and they've fortunately worked it out again, and Garma kicks inside forward 50, and he's found Piercy again, but there's a whistle on the play here, and I think it's going to be a Palmerston free kick. I'm not sure what was happening there. But
might have been a hold, Stewie, I'm thinking.
Something off the ball maybe, but it's Fox who'll take the free kick, and he kicks directly backwards into the back pocket to Dowsett, and he's looking to switch to the outer side of the ground now. The kick looks pretty good as Lampton comes out. Wharf it is, and claiming the mark on the second grab. It's not paid, but he's got time to run around and get his kick away anyway, and he's kicked it pretty well, but the mark spilt out there by Littlelow, but still able to work it forward, and Nico takes the mark and uses the ball well, finding Costa. Costa drills in short as Hamid was just short of him, and he couldn't take the mark, got the hand pass back, and Wanderers scrambling defence, get a kick out. Strong bodywork down there, and well done by Roberts, got the hand pass forward to his own advantage, and now he's looking ahead to see where he can go, but eventually the ball's just forced over the boundary line, and I think Roberts would probably be pretty happy with that in the end. He didn't have too much to go to.
Well, he was sort of out there by himself, but he didn't really. To be honest with you, I don't even think he even looked to see if there was anybody else there. That's like an under-10s game, that is. Handball the ball out in front and then pick it back up again.
So East does the work off the ruck, gets it forward, and it's a good delivery once again. Jackson East has been a busy player all night, and it's Jack Truan out on the lead again, takes the mark, and I reckon he's changed his boots at half time. He had blue boots in the first half, and he's got orange ones on now.
Oh, it's a bit of an Ackermanis scenario, is it? Just
kick 4 goals with the other one.
So put him aside, he's got to get a new pair. He's got so much time, hasn't he? When he picked the ball up before, it's like everybody ran off him.
Oh, look at those boots. It's skewed that one off the side and out of bounds on the full.
I think he tried to put it to the top of the square, Stewie, but anyway. But the ball, it's a slingshot from one end of the ground to the other then, didn't it? Palmerston had it, Wanderers had it first, then Palmerston had it. It's gone coast to coast and coast to coast. Oh, now they've just handed it back now, Palmerston.
Ryan Wolf just kicked it in and out.
Well, that's those boundary lines again, Stewie. I think maybe over the other side, they might even be even further in. It's East.
Yep, Jackson East.
His second quarter was really good, wasn't he? He's in and under.
Yeah.
He's already got 3 or 4 possessions now this quarter.
Yeah, he certainly accumulates. He's kicked long towards goal. It's close, but just missed to the right-hand side. So no goals in this third quarter so far. A couple of points to Wanderers now as the ball brought back into play, and Palmerston persist with going to the outer side of the ground, but again it's East who's chipped in and now on the left delivers inside forward 50 beautifully, and it's another chance for Wanderers again, and it's Truan again who's got on the end of this one. So Jack Truan, he's a focal point and busy at ground level, and another set shot. He's
just the go-to, isn't he? And he doesn't let him down. He's kicking straight. He takes a good mark. He's got a good turn of speed. It's fairly deliberate. Oh, and
push that one out
put
to
the moz on him. I think it might be that end of the ground, Stuart.
Yeah, so another opportunity missed there for Wanderers. Of course, looking for their first win of the season. The
thing that they're doing, though, is that they've turned, this has happened 2 or 3 times now, is that they've got the ball in there and it's come back out again. They've always been on the end of this kick, though. So they're putting themselves in the right spot. So they're spreading and covering the ground area. They're trying to make that ground smaller. And they're creating a contest which stops the play. Professional free kick, that's okay. You've got to stop the run. And give your players the opportunity to run down the ground.
So Ryan Wharf it is with the free kick, and chips out wide again, but he's got his teammates under pressure there, and that's pretty easily knocked over for a stoppage. Yeah, but after play had slowed down, you really need to find someone in space by themselves or go the longer option.
Yeah, that maybe the short 45 is probably where they should have come back inside now. But mind you, they're playing it safe down the line, so it becomes a 50-50. You go inside, it's risk versus reward.
So at ground level, Wanderers first to the ball again as it's picked up here by White, uses it by hand, and now running through half forward, Joe Baston-Priest delivers inside forward 50. It's a nice pass, but the mark not paid there, and Wanderers again scrambling in defence as Ferreira sweeps on that ball. The free kick's been paid. Has the advantage been paid? No. It's
they paid the advantage.
Yeah, they did pay the advantage, but he missed. Yeah, so
That's all right. We'll stick with that. It's up to the player. Remember, Stewie, is if the player takes off, that's the way it goes. If the player stops, the game stops.
So Dowsett brings it in and finds Klein in the back pocket for Palmerston. He chips over the top where Nico has made some space, but just chipping it around the back half. They put themselves under pressure again, and Truan it is again. He's read it, chipped in, and taken the intercept mark on the second grab. So he's looking at options. Looks like he might be going around the corner here this time.
That short 45 should have come another 15, 20 metres inside towards the centre square rather than go backwards. You've got to he's got to be as they've turned the ball back over again. Yeah,
Jackson East with good vision, and he's found Joel Cabillo, and Cabillo will come in for the set shot. So Wanderers have had some chances in this quarter, scored 4 behinds only without scoring a goal. So see what Cabillo can do. Put it up high. I think it's going to fall short and across the face anyway. And another behind, so they'd be starting to be concerned, I think, about the opportunities they've missed. That they really could have almost put this game away by now.
Yeah, they've got to steady. What's it? We've got a 50 metre
penalty
out of the goal square. They've got to steady a bit. They had a couple of set shots, but I think that they're trying to. They're trying to kick them 55 metres when they probably should be another possession inside 50. Hine moves the ball forward.
Yep, Palmerston have got it to half forward. It's flicked out the back, but it's Wanderers at ground level. Leggett again, gets the hand pass as he tackled out to Motlop. Motlop hooks it over the top on the bounce. It's forced forward again, and Nico gets the hand pass as he's tackled. Hamid gets tackled with the ball, and it spills out, and that's terrific pressure from Wanderers here in close. They just never let up and kept laying tackles, and eventually were rewarded.
Is that a good game, Leggett? East Fremantle boy.
Yep.
We've got
he's got blood, I think.
We've got some claret. East Fremantle boy he's played over 200 games, so he's got some experience, and he's played very, very well tonight. Actually, for a big guy, he's fairly mobile.
Yeah, that's right. So Garma finds Motlop on the wing. It's a bit stop-start here, but the kick's good. And it's Jackson East. Again, another possession on the wing here. He plays on now, kicks in short, but through the hands of Nico there, and it's a scramble for the ball at ground level and a ball up again.
That's okay. Wanderers will be happy with that. They've got a stoppage towards nearly towards their 50. Yep. They'll set up behind the play here.
Priest reaching over the top. The ball falls to Fuller. Fuller on the left. Kicks it inside forward 50. It bounces and then tapped down to Bake. Bake with the snapshot at goal. I think this one looks pretty good. It is, and that's the goal that they've been looking for. And Thane Bake gets himself on the scoreboard, and Wanderers on the board for the first time in this third quarter.
So the kick up in the air to a one-on-one, Stewie. Wharf was the third man, and he was Bake's man. So he's gone to the contest. He's left Bake at a front and centre goal.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's got a lot of experience. Wharf, you can see probably what he was trying to do was to create the spoil, but he's left his man vacant, and he's on the scoreboard.
So that pushes the margin out to 4 goals now, and you would have thought that Palmerston would regroup and come out firing in the second half, but they haven't thrown too much at it so far. They've just looked a bit clueless, moving the ball around the ground.
Yeah, their movement hasn't been good. They've put Hine into the middle now.
Oh, he hicks it forward, and that's a nice mark taken that half forward, and that's Declan Barnett, who's had a bit of the ball when it has gone forward and had some chances, but that was better. And you see Hind is down on his haunches back in the centre of the ground as this kick's being taken. He might have just copped one as he kicked it then, but it was a good quick clearance, and Barnett was on the end of it. He kicks towards goal. Now it's going right to the goal line. Yeah, it's got enough on it, gets over the line, and so a quick response there from Palmerston. That's what they needed, and a good finish from Barnett.
Well, when the pressure's on, Stu, and you finish up a score with a bit of, especially with some scoreboard pressure there, you put your big gun in the middle when you need to try and win a clearance, and that's what he's done. Hine, he's got it. There's 95 games of AFL experience there with St Kilda and Essendon. You can tell that they've got some class, these guys, and they're fit. He's able to break. If there's a tag in there, he was able to break that, and he's hit his teammate Lace out, so within kicking distance. The game doesn't look that difficult when you see it like that, does it?
Yeah, that's right. But Barnett had to be in the right place and had to have the strength in the hands, and he did, and the kick was good. So back in the middle of the ground. This time it's East for Wanderers, who gets a clearance inside forward 50. Out wide there at Kane Cox, working hard at ground level, but he gets worried out of it in the end, and Palmerston just working the ball back across the corridor here, and it's picked up by Walsh. Walsh delivers down towards half forward, but again it's out too far in front, and
it's a bit
boundary line. Wow, insufficient attempt.
That's a bit rough. That's a bit rough out here with this boundary line 75 feet inside, isn't it?
Anyway, Leggett happily accepts, or it was Walters who happily accepted the free kick, and now Wanderers chipping it around at half back. Oh, they've worked themselves into a spot of bother here, as it was Horrigan who wasn't really expecting to have the ball kicked in his direction, and he's worked out pretty well in the end with a long hand pass forward to East, and East off and running again, drives the ball inside forward 50 and hits the target in Truan once again. Truan moves on quickly, kicks long to the goal square. It's getting over the back, but the Palmerston defence working back, and a fist on the ball sees it through from behind.
Geez, he looked good then, didn't he?
So again, Palmerston can't hit a target coming out of defence, and it's picked up by White here. He chips the ball across to Priest. Priest takes the mark and now wheeling around on the right boot. He goes long down towards half forward. It was a big leap from behind, which was pretty unrealistic, I think. He was about 4 deep, and that'll be a Palmerston. He might have done a bit of damage there as well, as the Palmerston player was propelled into others in front of him, I think, from that big leap. So
depends on how often you've seen that guy play as to whether that's unrealistic. Because if he's done it a few times before, Stewie, then it's a realistic opportunity. So, but look, there seems to be a little bit of, I'm not sure if that's power that might have been at the bottom of that pack. He's certainly got some air.
Yeah, it was Cox, wasn't it? Kane Cox.
Yeah, he certainly got some air. There might have been an errant knee, might have made contact. So
they're calling for the stretcher here, I think.
We might have a minute. Yeah, they're calling for the stretcher. We might have a break here for a minute, Stewie.
Yeah.
9:63 to 6:8:44 to Wanderers.
No, he's walking off now by the looks. So I think it might be the big fella. And there could be a bit of blood involved, so yeah, an unfortunate collision, I think. I think you're right, it's Big Ben Power.
So they'll miss him because he's been all over the ground and very, very mobile too.
No, it's not Power, is it? No, it's it might be Matty Artso, I think, the other tall. But anyway, play's underway again as the ball's close to the boundary line and just knocked over for a throw in there. No, it's Dowsett. Dowsett is the injured player. He's got a bit of blood around the eyebrow area.
Any relatives of Power were listening?
Sorry.
Apologise for that.
As Priest gets it over the back, East runs onto it, gives it by hand to Motlop. Tries to swing around to give it back to East. He's under pressure, gets that hand pass over the top. Ferreira gets it forward. It's pretty scrappy here, but Wanderers working it forward. A hack kick out of the air, goes straight up in the air and into the lap of Jackson Priest again, and he drills a pass in looking for Truan again, but this time just couldn't hold on to the mark as Palmerston working hard across half back, and they've won themselves a free kick, and it's going to Ryan Wharf So Wharf looking at options and decides to go outside to the outer side of the ground. The kick's good, and mark's taken out there by Edmonds. Edmonds swings around on the left, and Matty Arce drops a pretty simple one, and then recovers, has the ball knocked out of his hands, and Palmerston all of a sudden under pressure, but Nico comes in, breaks a tackle, and delivers inboard to Hind. Hind just settles things down and now decides to go short, and he finds Hamid just forward of centre, kicking towards the clubhouse end in this quarter as Hamid. He's got a player out wide, and that's a beautifully weighted and directed kick, and that'll be a 50-metre penalty. So just unnecessary contact there from Mitch Taylor as Ricky Walsh got out the back. The kick was perfectly weighted straight onto Walsh's chest, and a possible goal has turned into a certain goal.
Yeah, skilled there from Hamed. He just hung onto it and hung onto it and hung onto it, didn't he? Just waiting for that right opportunity, and Walsh was able to get out the back, and some running there too, which he's done. He's probably run 30 or 40 metres to get to that spot, and Hamad was watching. Lace out, hits him, 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, simple goal.
Sometimes you're a little bit unlucky with those, but it's still a little bit of ill discipline, which I'm sure that Aaron's not going to be happy about.
Yeah, well, that's right. And Mitchell Taylor, of course, is the captain of the club, and uncharacteristic, just unnecessary to make any contact there. But a good goal for Palmerston, a good build-up. They were patient, and then Hamid, he's done that a couple of times now, weighted the kick over the top. Just got a bit more on it than perhaps the players upfield expect. So back in the middle of the ground, and Wanderers just forcing it forward with a hot hack kick. Swooping in there for Palmerston was Bezine. He got caught with the ball. It spills out here, and now a chance for Wanderers. The kick is good. They're celebrating, and it's another Wanderers goal, and we're just trying to pick up who it up. Yeah, it is Piercy, yep. And so that's a quick reply from Wanderers after Palmerston had kicked 2 in a row, but a good finish from half forward.
They just managed to just keep pushing the ball forward, and they're playing in front, and it's like Noah's just opened the sea up because they've just run straight into it, into an open forward line virtually without any opposition, and Piercy's picked it up 40 metres easy. So we've just seen a 50-metre penalty go, put a goal on the board, and then Palmerston give up something or let Wanderers run through the place fairly simple.
So from the restart again, he wins himself a free kick for contact in the back in the tackle, and he's had a terrific quarter. He had a pretty good first half, but he's certainly racked up the possessions in this third quarter as he kicks inside forward 50, goes out wide towards the pocket. At ground level there, it was Klein who got the hand pass as he was tackled. The ball close to the boundary line again, and Nico does pretty well to run the ball out. He finds Hamid, who tries a bit of a dinky hand pass over the top, which probably wasn't called for at that stage, and didn't have a player out. And you see Nick Hind there in the vision just saying, just settle things down and work the ball forward rather than trying the funky stuff.
Yeah, exactly right, Stu. He's there's no need for that at the 23-minute mark of the third quarter when you're 3 goals down.
So the long kick, and Truan on the end of it again. This time just couldn't take the mark out in front, and the ball spills over the boundary line.
Yeah, towards the end of the third quarter, Stewie, you can sort of see the leg speed has slowed up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think for Palmerston, as we spoke about before the game, is the Wanderers looked like they had, a lot of guys in around that 5'10", 75 kilo mark that are fairly fit and can run. They didn't look tall, and they're actually showing it there. As you can see that they're probably going to run this game out as they're getting a free kick here.
Yeah, they are. It's Priest, Jebaston Priest, so laid the tackle, got rewarded, and he'll have a set shot as the clock ticks towards 24 minutes, and Priest taking plenty of time over this one. The player on the mark is about 30 metres from the goal, so Sebastian Priest, only a couple of steps, kicks towards goal. The kick looks good. He's celebrating, and another Wanderers goal. And again, they look to be finishing this quarter strongly and just pushing that lead out again.
We've got a little bit of rain coming down here too by the looks of it, Stu. So that's pushed that margin to 25 points, which we're just about on that three-quarter time siren. Means that they've outscored Palmerston again for the third quarter, as obviously with the big second quarter that they had, they're virtually taking control. Palmerston have kicked 4 goals in virtually half a game of footy, and Wanderers have put on 9. So it's a true indication as to where the game has been since quarter time.
Yeah, that's right. Wanderers have been able to penetrate that Palmerston defence pretty easily at times, as we're back in the middle, and this time it's Big Matty Artso who gets his hand to the ball for Palmerston. Oh, players go tumbling everywhere. There's going to be a Palmerston free kick. Advantage was going to be paid, but now it's called back, and so in the middle of the ground it's Edmonds who will
he was
take
pretty
the free kick.
pretty keen to stop the play then, Jacob Port. He knew what was going on.
And again, the ball's got to come back.
Port, these guys have got to listen to a whistle, mate. It's a reset. They just need a whole possession here, Palmerston. They don't want to go and give anything away.
Yeah, they've got a couple loose going forward, and now Hamid's got on the end of it. Hamid from outside 50, looking to go long to the goal square. Players working back there, but again, solid in defence. Mitch Taylor gets a fist to the ball and sees it over for a behind.
They got some good numbers back then, whereas previously, first quarter they wouldn't have been there.
So we're 26 minutes in this third quarter, and it's Wanderers with a 4-goal lead as they take it to the outer side of the ground. They've found a player in space out there. Tyson White moves it on quickly, and he finds Leggett. Leggett plays straight on and kicks long inside 50. Oh, hands to the ball, but no mark taken, and Palmerston under pressure in defence again as the hand pass comes out. They're looking to switch across the face of goal. That's worked out all right, I think, and Fox takes the mark and then brings it near side of the ground as Priest comes across, gets a fist to the ball and then chases it up himself, kicks forward with the left foot down towards the pocket, and now again off the ground inside forward 50. The hand pass comes across. Here's a chance for Wanderers again as the snapshot from directly in front from George Wilkes goes through, and it's another Wanderers goal, really out of nothing, but terrific work by Priest. Never gave up on it on this near side, Paul, and just a couple of kicks off the ground and got it back into a dangerous position for him.
Straight out of the Ronaldo handbook. First one with the left and then the inside out with the right. And they just kept pushing the ball forward. And we spoke 30 seconds ago, Stewie, about Palmerston hanging on to the ball, not wanting to hand another goal over at the 25, 26 minute mark of the quarter. And it's gone from one end to the other. They might have been better off trying to put that last one to the top of the square, trying to keep possession, slingshot down the other end of the ground, and Wanderers are controlling the game and the footy with little resistance.
That's right, and a 5-goal margin at this stage of the game is a lot to make up, you would think, and Wanderers again, first hands on the ball in the middle of the ground, Priest working hard at ground level. And it'll be a ball up again. It won't be, in fact, because the siren goes. So Palmerston got those couple in a row, got themselves within 2 goals, and then the same story as the second quarter. Wanderers have finished strongly with the last 3 goals of the quarter and given themselves a 5-goal lead at three-quarter time. So they're in a terrific position to register their first win of the season, and Aaron Motlop will be working hard to make sure that's what happens. So there we are at three-quarter time at Cazalys Arena. It's the Wanderers Eagles by 5 goals. We'll be back shortly with the final quarter.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Cazalys Arena for the final quarter of this round 4 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League clash between Palmerston and Wanderers. And at three-quarter time, it's Wanderers who have a 30-point lead after pretty impressive second and third quarters. I'm Stu Davison with Paul Maher, and Palmerston with all the work to do, Paul.
They certainly have, Stu. We've just seen Wanderers in that half of footy, that middle half, second and third quarter, 10 goals to 4.
So from the restart, Leggett, first possession, got the hand pass forward. Motlop under pressure, squirts it out wide and then receives back again, but just doesn't take it cleanly, and now he's under pressure from Mattiazzo, burrowing in, the ball spills out. Mattiazzo at ground level does well to get the hand pass out, and now it finds its way out to Hind. Hind on the left switches back in towards the centre of the ground. It's a well-directed kick, and they've moved it on quickly to Nico, who switches out wide again. This time the mark spilt by Ricky Walsh, but has time to recover and delivers nicely to centre half forward. He finds Barnett there. Barnett's got a loose out wide in Matt Payne. He plays on quickly, gets around the player in front of him, kicks towards goal, and the finish is good. And that would have been just what Mark Tyrrell and the Palmerston coaches bench would have been looking for, a goal within the first minute in this final quarter.
Well, it's like the Ron Barassi play, that one. It's handball, handball, handball. They just kept moving the ball as quickly as they possibly could. They were looking for options. They zigzagged from one side of the ground to the other and virtually finished up kicking it out of the far forward pocket over in front of the scoreboard. So, good work. They needed it, definitely. That's one they've clawed back. They've just got another 4 to go.
Yeah, that's right. And Wanderers, a team, of course, that over the last couple of years haven't won that many games, and not often in a position where they have control of the game, and it can, you know, when you have that experience, it can turn around pretty quickly if you're not right on top of it.
Yeah, they've got to hold this.
Mattiazzo again working hard in the middle of the ground as the ball's caught in underneath, and it will have another ball up right in the centre of.
We've seen some aggression in the last 2 minutes that we haven't seen for nearly 3 quarters from Palmerston.
Yep. So the ball squirts out now. East drills a pass forward, but keeping his feet in defence was Selwood, and he drives the ball back towards half forward for Palmerston. Well chopped off down there and delivered along the wing, and Jackson East once again is on the end of it. He gets his pass inboard, and Wanderers trying to build from the wing here as Motlop kept running close to the boundary line. Looks like that was half volleyed, but the mark's been paid, but he played on anyway, and the kick inboard is good, and finds Tyson White at half forward. White goes back having a look at what his options are, looking to switch the ball across the ground, and good strength out there, but didn't give up on in defence. But Wanderers again.
This is Leggett.
Gets a hand pass over the top, and again at ground level it's picked up and a snap towards goal, but 3 for a behind. Yeah, Leggett with the bandage across the face, of course, from the blood incident in the previous quarter. But Nick Hind to bring the ball back into play. Goes for the barrel down the middle of the ground. It bounces in the centre square, but beautifully chopped off, and it's thumped straight back in. It's a long kick towards goal. The bounce comes straight back into the hands there of White, I think it is. Oh no, it's not. It's that fella again in Jack Truan, who's just on the spot. But that was a horror bounce for the Palmerston defenders. It came straight backwards into the hands of Truan, and he picks it up and kicks. What's that? His 5th goal.
That is number 5. Look. The Nick Hind attempted barrel out of full back is it looks good, but it's not going to work, and it's landed straight into Wanderers defender's hands, and he's barreled the ball straight back in again, and it's a goal. So that's an unnecessary turnover, Stewie. When you claw a goal back in the first minute, you don't want to go and give away one just like that. Yeah,
that's right. And Hind hasn't dominated the game, but he's been good with ball in hand and finding a player for most of the night. So it was unusual to see it happen.
I think he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah. Looks a bit slippery in the middle as players scramble for the ball at ground level again. Hind in there trying to make amends. He's But it's Wanderers that bring it away again. East delivers to half forward, and he finds Davin Ferreira out on the 50-metre line. Ferreira has a short option, but no, just leaned back on that one, and it's chopped off by Bonham, and Palmerston the chance to take it away again to the outer side of the ground, just on the half volley. Couldn't be controlled by Payne, but he does pick up in the end, and now delivers inside forward 50. Hamad makes a mistake, ball handling error there, but recovered well. The hand pass comes out wide, and Mattiazzo kicks long inside forward 50. A big leap down there, but no mark taken. But Wanderers steady in defence, and the chip pass comes across to Mitch Taylor in the goal square. Taylor looking to go long out of defence. That's a well-directed kick, and plenty of distance on it. Finds Jackson East at half back. East switches back into the middle of the ground. Has it got enough legs on it? Just falls a bit short, and now Wanderers under some pressure down there. Terrific work by Edmonds, kept involved. The hand pass eventually comes out to Hind, who swings back around and now chips the ball down towards half forward. Coming across the front was Edmonds. Couldn't take the mark, but got tackled when he did take possession of the ball, and it'll be a ball up.
That was good work there. It was the Palmerston players. It was a 2-on-1. They had an option, Wanderers, to go out, but yeah, he was able to trap that in then. Good defence.
So the ball cleared away from the Wanderers half back line, and just taken over the boundary line down here by Selwood under pressure, and it'll be a boundary throw-in right on the wing in front of the cameras here.
6 minutes in, 31 points, Stewie. It's a hard task.
So Hamad takes it, gets a hand pass across. Mattiazzo by hand, picked up on the half volley nicely by Dowsett. He sweeps the hand pass out there to Chubb, who got caught with the ball. Play on's the call as it comes out. East tries to hand pass inboard. That's solid contact by Mitch Taylor, and yeah, that'll be sore for a little while, I think. Play on's the call, just one in the ribs a bit, as a free kick is paid to Horrigan, and Horrigan's been pretty solid across half-back for Wanderers tonight as he chips in short to Mitch Taylor.
Nothing for the MRP there, Stewie, you don't think?
Oh, well.
No comment.
See what comes out, but it was body contact, but yeah, the ball was in the vicinity. The kick by Crofts sees Wanderers work it to the outer side of the ground. Again, a chip over the top, and Motlop takes the mark this time. Wanderers happy just to chip it around and try to build around the outer side of the ground as they've got players making space, and Tyson White gets on the end of it now. He goes short again, looking for Crofts, who spilt the mark that time, and that allowed the turnover, and it's Nico for Palmerston, who kicks inside forward 50. It gets out the back. There's a chance there for Walsh, but just had trouble controlling the ball. He gets bundled over, and it's picked up in the end, and it's a Wanderers free kick to Mitch Taylor. He wastes no time and switches across the goal, and finds his teammate in the back pocket as Bate kicks in short, and pretty casual there, but Jonas Nicky takes the mark in the end. So the bench here next to us calling boundary, but that's gone over the boundary, and
he actually
Bate was standing outside the boundary to call for the ball. So Lucas Edmonds chips inside forward 50 again and finds Wharf, who's
it's a calf or a bit or a cramp, one or the other.
You would think, yeah.
And we need to get the line marker, the guy that does the line, maybe another measuring tape, because if he's measuring, what is it supposed to be, 6-8 metres off the fence?
So Palmerston have chipped it around, and eventually it's Niall Hamad who's got the ball in hand inside 50, and he'll go back and take the set shot.
He's backing himself in. Still, he's turned his back on his teammates. So, mind you, there's none of them leading, so they must know how far he can kick as well. He kicked 4 last week, so we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, he's certainly some of his field kicking has been really penetrating tonight, and Palmerston need him to get on the scoreboard now. Casual approach. It's got plenty of height and plenty of distance. It's straight through, so that's the one that they needed to get back. So 2-1 in the quarter for Palmerston, and Ahmed gets himself on the board and gives Palmerston still some hope. They're only that 25 points down with as we approach the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
It was just a bit of hard work there that they did. They started that quarter off the same way. The first 3 or 4 minutes they were all over it and they were jumping all over the ball and tackling. They've just done the same there. They start chipping it around a little bit, and the next thing you know that they're within kicking distance. So it's not rocket science, but they've got it's back to 25 points. So they've still got to kick 5 goals, Stewie.
Yeah. So Power just balks and then gets a double palm to the ball, but Wilkes was in there on the end of it, got tackled with the ball. Power comes in now, gets a hand to it, bats it forward, but it's East being held behind there, and East will take the free kick. Kicks long, looking for Leggett, slips through his hands over the back, and the ball picked up at ground level by Fuller. He got tackled with it, back to Leggett, and now Fuller gets on the end of it from some clever play by Motlop. Fuller on the left kicks long into the goal square, but it's punched away, and it's going to just bounce through for a rush behind to take the margin out to 26 points.
I wasn't sure what I was seeing out there before was that when Hine was standing beside East at that ball up, that he was going with him. So that's a big move from Mark Tyrrell to.
So the free kick here for a high tackle. It's Hamid again it's Barnett who'll take the free kick. He plays on quickly with a hand pass over the top and then receives back, running around the outer wing, kicks in towards half forward, a diving attempted mark, not paid, and eventually wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up again. So Tyson White working back there, not paid the mark, and a restart as at ground level. Fuller taps it out to his own advantage, now gets some support at ground level from Cabillo as the hand pass comes over the top. Hind was caught pretty quickly but held too long in the tackle, and he'll get the free kick here for just being held too long after he got rid of the ball.
No real need for that, Stu, was there?
That's right.
And they had control of the footy then, Wanderers.
So Palmerston looking to build through the middle of the ground again. The ball comes to Fox. Fox gets it quickly to Chubb. Chubb has a player spare forward, and he finds Nico, who kicks into the forward pocket, and they had a few loose players there. They found Ricky Walsh. He's got another one inside that he likes, and delivers it nicely to Costa, and Costa gets on the end of it, and he'll have a set shot from directly in front, only about 25 metres out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy if I was Aaron Motlop there. There's way too many loose black and white stripes out there, especially when you've got little chip kicks going on, and the ball's inside 50, and you're still managing to throw away 2 or 3 more possessions to get a better shot on goal. So it wasn't really a turnover. It wasn't if the ball swung from one end of the ground to the other, Stu. It was just a little bit of lazy checking there from Wanderers, and they've just been let off there. That's the stroke of luck that you need sometimes. Yeah,
that's right. Just squirted that out to the right and threw for a behind. So Mitch Taylor runs up the hill to chase the ball.
Might be going to play a shifty here and slide out the back fence, is he, and take the next possession. Looks like he is.
So you go out there. Horrigan will bring it back into play. He's having a look around, and looks like he's deciding to come near side of the ground. As he goes long, just swooping across the front was Smiler. Couldn't take the mark, but Palmerston again through Nico, who kicks long to the goal square. It's going right to the line. There's the mark's been paid to Mitch Taylor.
And it was good body work then.
Yeah,
I thought that the heart was going there for a little while. It could have gone either way.
So he goes out of side of the ground as Fuller bats it forward and then follows up himself. Gives a hand pass eventually over the top, but it's out in front. The chase down tackle from Chubb, sees the ball caught in underneath, and it'll be another ball up on the wing on the outer side of the ground.
Legs are getting a little bit heavy, Stewie.
Yeah. Yep, certainly we had a fair bit of rain early in the day, but fortunately during the game the conditions have been pretty much perfect. So Edmonds chips the ball forward for Palmerston again. Coming in is Nico, who takes that mark and then chips backward to Hind. Hind calling for someone to lead towards him and gets that lead, but his delivery wasn't the best, and now Wanderers looking to work it from defence as Bake kicks it out laterally to the outer side of the ground, where it's picked up nicely by Horrigan. He gives and receives back and then just thumps the ball long down the line. In best position down there was Klein for Palmerston, and they work it out of defence again back towards half forward. It's just being played between the two half forward lines at the moment as the ball's picked up by Leggett. He gets a hand pass inboard, and now Wanderers off and running again as the ball's delivered to centre half forward beautifully, and the mark taken there by Cox. Cox plays on quickly, kicks long towards goal. It's going to go all the way through. It does, and there's a settler for Wanderers if they needed one, but they recover that margin that they had at three-quarter time of 5 goals.
The difference between the Palmerston heavy legs and the Wanderers bit more sprightly, bit more running on top of the grass because of that scoreboard pressure that they've got. And as soon as the ball, I think it was Smiley finished up with the ball, he's come out of defence, they all ran forward, and then they had plenty of options. And the next thing you know, you've got an inside 50 mark, and you've got a goal on the board, and pushes that margin back to 31 points. So I'm thinking Palmerston, scoreboard pressure, they've been chasing the muck-mucks around for the last 3 quarters or two and a half quarters. The legs are probably getting a little bit heavier, but the Wanderers have still got a bit of run. So 16 and a half minutes and 5. Well, they've got to kick 6 goals, Stewie. So
yeah, that's right. We're pushing towards the time on period now as the ball over the top, but beautifully read by Taylor and taken in the hands. He moves the ball quickly near side of the ground, and again it's Piercy who switches the ball back into the corridor. Ball spills forward from the marking contest, and the big fella at ground level, Power, working hard, but the ball's caught in underneath, and it'll be a ball up at centre half forward for Wanderers.
Must be an instruction of Aaron Motlops, because more often than not when they get the ball is that they're going inside, and maybe they might have learnt from the Palmerston mistakes early where they were going wide and the ball was going out of bounds. They've decided to go back into the merge area, into the top of the forward 50, to place their footy into the forward line.
So Wanderers work it inside 50 again, but strong defence from Little as he clears to the outer side of the ground. Wharf first there, controls the ball, but under pressure runs it over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in again. Bit of breeze starting to get up here. Hopefully it's not associated with some wet stuff from the sky, but all good so far. As tackled with the ball was Piercy for Wanderers. He's had a solid game tonight.
Yeah, look, they've all been good. Excuse me, it's got a little bit double up there. Piercy, East, Motlop.
Yep. Horrigan across half back.
Cabillo.
Yep.
Nicky Taylor's been really good across half back. All those midfielders have all excelled. Priest has been really good in the ruck because she's so mobile as well. Yeah,
that's right. And Jackson East, of course, has had heaps of the footy as Wanderers work it forward again as Leggett just tries to paddle it back to the advantage of a teammate. Picked up by Ferreira there, a bit of strength, and kicks it forward, but well read in defence. And Palmerston the chance to reload from the back half. Looks as like Fox.
They were double teaming True and then.
And gets out over the back, and Payne takes the mark, and he's off and running, touches on the ground, but just slowed down and got run down with the ball, and Wanderers turn it over and happy to chip it back into the reliable hands of Jackson East in the centre of the ground. He goes out wide where he's got a loose player in Leggett. who's been really important for them as well. He kicks long inside forward 50, gets over the back. There's plenty of Palmerston defenders back there, but eventually Hind lays the tackle. The ball spills out, and Palmerston just trying to force it out of defence now, but just can't take clean possession as in comes Piercy again. He gets tackled to the ground, and it'll be a stoppage and a ball up at centre half forward for Wanderers. Priest up high over the top, gets the tap down, but it's taken by Selwood, who just swings it high forward. Getting underneath it was Roberts, couldn't take the mark, but Wanderers able to recover and chip it out wide again as Leggett gets a hand pass inboard. Just doesn't quite hit the target, and now Wharf picks up and runs forward for Palmerston and delivers out wide on the bounce. Swinging around, the kick comes back inboard. Lucas Edmonds takes a nice mark under pressure, copped a little tap across the head, but not much to go to. He decides to run on now and kick long inside forward 50 in the marking contest. The ball spills to the ground and Palmerston a chance, but Wanderers have worked back well. White gets a kick that skews off the side of the boot. That's going to go straight over the boundary line. Be interesting to see the umpires called here.
Yep.
And he's penalising that for insufficient intent. So I suppose they've been reasonably consistent with a couple of times that's happened tonight.
Oh, look, I think we're just about at the stage where they can follow the
Last
AFLW or the women's game where it's its last touch outside the arcs. So, which is virtually what happens nowadays anyway.
So Horrigan gets a quick kick that's travelled about 3 metres as it's scooped forward now, and Wanderers again just find a way to get it outside of defensive 50, close to the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. Some strength there from Leggett again as he comes back in and gets the kick around the wing as Truan just manhandled over the ball. Yeah, just talk about that last touch. I watched a bit of the South Australian men's finals, and they play last disposal out of bounds. It's a free kick to the other side, all around the ground. So yeah, it works pretty well, I think. It makes them makes players keen to keep the ball in play. That's for sure. So from that restart, it's a big pack of players around the ball as Wanderers just try to work it through the hands. East on the left goes close to the boundary line outer side. It's bounces just inside as Fuller tries to run onto it but unable to keep it in play. And we're 22 minutes into the final quarter, and Wanderers have got this wrapped up for their first win of the season. They'll be pretty happy back at the Wanderers shed after the game tonight, and they're terrific for the club. They've been kicking goals off the field, and they've just needed to bring it onto the ground, and they've certainly done that tonight. So a terrific start for their season. Yeah,
they've done a lot of hard work this year.
Yep.
Stewie, is that they've tried to set themselves up behind the scenes, off the field, structure themselves. They've got themselves a good setup on the field with Aaron Motlop and his father's back in the fold as well, and they've got some good people in there running the show, and this will be reward for effort tonight for the club. So if you're in the Marara area, get down to the shed, which is soon to become a hall. Yep. They tell me it's going to grow walls.
Yeah, so. A shed with walls, that's right. No, they are. They're doing some great work there, and terrific to see. And tonight some success on the field as well as the ball's chipped in and marked by Garma.
Let's play some Bruce free footy here now. Stewie, I think it's the way to go, is that get them through to having the rest of the weekend off and saddle up for next week.
So Lambton at the back ran into some trouble as he's in there again, fishes it out, and hand pass comes over the top. Fuller in there doing some hard work, as is Cody Leggett again, and he wins himself a free kick on the outer side of the ground.
He had a good game, Stu.
He has a real good game. He's a quality player and hard at the footy as well. He strolls around, kicks long towards goal, and it's fallen into the lap of his teammate down there in Jackson East, who's unusually deep forward, and he'll have a shot after the siren. He won't be able to run round, of course, so it's going to be a pretty difficult shot, but this has been a terrific win for the Wanderers Football Club.
Now is he allowed to? Oh, okay, there we go. So he's marked his spot and he's gone back to take a couple of steps on the other side of it. Oh, and he's hit that woodwork.
Hit the post. But terrific game from Jackson East tonight, as it has been for most of the Wanderers players, but that's a terrific result for them, Paul.
Certainly is, and Jackson East has just probably got himself a new big screen TV out of that one for Best On Grounds, Stewie. So, but from quarter time onwards, 12 goals to 6.
Yeah.
So they've doubled their score in the back 3 quarters of the game, and that's just a total domination. Virtually, Palmerston, they flew the flag there late towards the end of the third quarter and the start of the last quarter to get some credibility back into the game and brought it back to 24 points. But from a 9-point lead to a 14-point deficit to a 24-point deficit, Wanderers were good for the back 3 quarters of the game and have won the last quarter again. To take out the game by 32 points, which if you'd have spoken about this before the game, based on Palmerston's 57,
I think,
7-point win last week over Buffaloes and Waratahs, and Wanderers not having a run, that's a fantastic effort.
Yeah, that's right. And 32-point margin, as you said, come into the game, you would think that it would be the other way around, but terrific effort from Wanderers. Palmerston looked like they'd turned it around last week, but obviously still have some work to do. So it's a pretty close competition, pretty hard to win. And some of your better players, Paul.
Oh, look, Truman was good. He's taken. He's got a bag full, but he was also it was a bit more. He was an option. There was a couple of goal assists in there at the same time. Jackson East, sensational, was all over the place. I thought that Priest was really good as well in the ruck. Probably a little bit undersized, but he's very mobile. Piercy with a couple, and then Leggett's form as a bit of a hybrid forward on baller. He's from Andal, so he's got a bit of a pedigree. He's got some good footy behind him. Was very good as well. But I thought that Taylor's, apart from the first quarter where I thought he was a little bit loose and he's given away a 50-metre penalty there in the first quarter, he's probably got a bit of a tap from his coach. And said, mate, you're better than that, and hardly let a ball go, and was strong in defence, intercept marks. But was really good. But Jackson East, mate, he's got my money.
Yeah, and for Palmerston, I thought their best were probably Hamid, Nico. They were waxing with the ball for a fair while. Barnett had a pretty good game. Lucas Edmonds had some moments. The big fella Power kept working all day, but they were outclassed for most of the game after quarter time, and a terrific win for the Wanderers Football Club, and Palmerston with some soul searching to do and looking to rebound next week. But that's it for tonight. Of course, more footy tomorrow from AFL NTV, as well as of course the big AFLW clash at TIO Stadium tomorrow night.
The dream time, we've got Richmond and Essendon up. For that, which should fill the stands tomorrow night, I would say, because the games, the 2 Friday night games with St Mary's and Waratahs tonight, and the 2 early games tomorrow, over at DXC, have set up virtually for a free